Today, I've got a super fun challenge. Fixing up an old fan I picked up from the junkyard. It's a small electric mini fan that's seen better days. It has a cracked blade with a piece missing and all the control buttons are broken. So it doesn't work the way it should. My goal is to bring this little guy back to life and see if I can make it spin like new again. If you enjoy DIY projects like this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of my future repairs and fun experiments. Alright, let's jump right in and take a closer look at this fan. Let's start by taking off the front cover of the fan. I'll carefully remove the screws around the frame and gently pop the grill loose. So we can get a clear view of the blades inside. Since one of the blades is cracked, I need to be extra careful not to damage it any further while taking it apart. Once the cover is off, we'll have full access to the fan's internal parts and can figure out the best way to repair that broken blade and check the motor. The power supply on this little fan is completely shot, so I'll need to build a brand new one for it. I'm going to remove the old power module and carefully disconnect the damaged wiring to avoid any short circuits. I'll carefully snip the old wires with a pair of insulated cutters, making sure to keep my hands clear and avoid any accidental sparks. Once the wires are disconnected, the blade assembly can be lifted out completely, giving us easier access to the motor and the inner parts that need repair. Now it's time to test the motor directly by connecting a power source to the input wires. I'll carefully hook up a low voltage power supply to see if the motor still spins on its own. Because one of the blades is partially broken, the fan wobbles violently when it spins. The uneven weight throws the whole rotor off balance, causing strong vibrations and a loud rattling noise. If I don't fix or replace that damaged blade, the motor could wear out faster or even break completely from the constant shaking. Now it's time to fix the broken blade. Next, I'm getting some small pieces of foam ready. These foam bits will help fill the missing section of the blade and balance out the weight. Now it's time to start combining all the materials. I'll carefully place the foam pieces into the cup. Then, I'll add a little bit of gasoline to the cup, which will help soften the foam and make it easier to mix with the other materials. This mixture will later be combined with baking soda and super glue to create a strong, lightweight filler for the broken blade. When the foam soaks up the gasoline, it begins to break down and soften, become more flexible and easier to work with. The foam swells slightly and takes on a spongy, pliable texture, which will help it blend smoothly with the other materials. Once I mix in the baking soda and super glue, the combination quickly forms a thick, paste-like material. It's easy to shape, fills the gaps in the broken blade perfectly, and hardens into a strong, lightweight patch that will help balance the fan and reduce wobbling when it spins. After softening the foam with gasoline, I'll add a little bit of WD-40 to the mixture. This helps make the surface slicker and smoother, so the patch spreads more evenly and sticks better to the remaining blade. It also helps reduce friction when the fan spins, making the repaired blade run more smoothly and quietly. Since the blade is tightly attached to the motor and the wiring, trying to force it out could easily snap the wires. I need to be very careful while handling it, gently loosening the connections and keeping everything intact. This way, I can work on repairing the blade without damaging the motor or cutting the electrical wires. Next, I'll take a piece of wire mesh and measure it to match the missing section of the blade. Once I have the correct size, I'll carefully cut the mesh so it fits perfectly into the gap. This metal piece will act as a strong internal support, giving the repaired section extra stability and helping the blade stay balanced when the fan spins. Now, I'll use a soldering iron to secure the wire mesh onto the broken section of the blade. By carefully soldering the metal in place, I can make sure it stays firmly attached and provides a strong backbone for the repair. Next, I'll spread the foam mixture over the repaired section of the blade. Using a small tool, I'll carefully coat the wire mesh and fill in any gaps. Shaping it to match the original contour of the blade. I'm going to stick a piece of tape on the back of the blade to prevent the foam mixture from dripping down. This acts like a little support tray, holding the patch in place while it sets and hardens. Once the foam mixture has fully dried, I'll carefully remove the tape from the back and check the repaired section for any rough spots or uneven areas. Next, I'll trim off any excess material from the repaired section. Using a small knife or file, I'll carefully shave down the foam mixture so it matches the original shape of the blade. This step helps keep the weight balanced and ensures the fan will spin smoothly without any extra drag or wobbling. After trimming the excess, I'll use sandpaper to smooth out the surface. Gently sanding the repaired area helps remove any rough edges and creates an even finish that matches the rest of the blade. The coarse grit will remove any larger bumps and shape the repair. Then medium grit smooths out the surface further. And finally, the fine grit gives a polished, even finish. This step-by-step sanding ensures the blade is perfectly balanced. This ensures the fan spins quietly and efficiently, with the blade properly balanced and ready for testing. Next, I'll spray a little water onto the blade to help wash away any sanding dust. This makes it easier to see the surface clearly and ensures no particles interfere with the balance or adhesion of the repair. After wiping it clean, the blade is ready for the final inspection before reassembling the fan. The fan now looks almost like new. The blades are fully intact and balanced. The casing is clean, and all the parts fit snugly together. Now, I'm going to use this 9-volt battery to create a new power source for the fan. I'll connect it carefully to the fan's input wires, making sure the polarity is correct so the motor spins the right way. Once the battery is connected, the fan starts spinning immediately. The repaired blade turns smoothly, and the wobbling from before is completely gone. It runs steadily, showing that the motor is working well with the new power source, and the patch on the blade is holding perfectly. With the blade repaired and the new power source ready, it's time to reassemble the fan. I'll carefully place the blade back onto the motor shaft, making sure it's seated securely and aligned properly. Next, I'll reattach the blade housing and tighten all the screws, double-checking that nothing is loose. Once everything is back in place, the fan is ready for a test run to see if it spins smoothly and quietly. By carefully repairing the blade, reinforcing it with foam, baking soda, wire mesh, and a bit of ingenuity, and setting up a new 9-volt power source, we brought it back to life. It's a small, compact mini fan with a simple design, but after the repair, it spins steadily and quietly. The overall finish is smooth. The repaired section blends in well, and it's ready for regular use without any rattling or wobbling. This little mini fan went from broken and wobbling to fully functional with a smooth, balanced spin. It's amazing how a bit of creativity and patience can turn something that seemed useless into a working gadget again. If you enjoyed this DIY project, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fun repairs and experiments.